Using our plans from measuring out the cabinet in the kitchen, here are the 5 pieces that make up the drawer. So we have the bottom piece that all of these 4 pieces on the edge all sit on top of. And then we've got the end pieces here. So this will be like the front and the back, or the back and the front, or the front and the back. Doesn't really matter because it's square on the edges. And then you've got the side pieces. Now these pieces here will sit in between the side pieces so that these pieces are Craig jigged into the sides. But this is kind of what it looks like. So whenever putting together the drawers, typically what I do is I'll build one if it's gonna be a stack of drawers and they're all gonna be the same kind of footprint. They can be different heights, but the footprint's what I'm looking at to make sure that it fits inside the cabinet just fine. So I'll build this bottom one out for that kitchen cabinet, and then I'll move it up in the kitchen cabinet to make sure that footprint fits well. And then once I figure that out, then I'll batch all the rest of the pieces. So I'll cut all the bottoms, I'll cut all the sides and all the ends, and then put them together, and then end up with a drawer stack like this right here, where these are practically finished. They just need the handles cut out, and then some of these will have a little bit of some lattice looking stuff. This stuff right there will be put into the faces of those drawers, and then faces will be put on as well. So this is kind of my process for getting them all sized out and cut to the right size. It's a little laborious, but once you get them done, then you don't have to build them again. So they'll last for a while because we're using 1/2 inch material for all the sides and bottoms versus like using like an 1/8 inch for the bottom, which makes it a little bit lighter, yeah, but we want these to be super sturdy because they're going to be holding, like in this case, kitchen stuff, and so we don't want the bottoms to crap out on us, and we want them to have a long life. So here we go. Pieces are sanded, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the router with a chamfering bit, which is basically like a 45-degree angle bit that has a little, this one has a little ball bearing on it so that the bottom edge kind of looks like it just disappears whenever you're pulling the drawer out. Nice. Looks good. Good and good. Oh yeah, looks like you fit real nice in there. Looks like that'll fit real nice. Got a little bit of wiggle in there, but that's fine. I'd rather have a little bit of wiggle than it be too snug and be a pain in the ace to open and close. So now that we have the first one mocked up and it looks like it's going to fit in there really well, I don't have the rails attached to the walls yet, but I just put the little mock pieces in, and it looks like it'll do really nice. We'll go ahead and make the next drawer, and once we get the next drawer made, that way they're both drying at the same time, then we'll attach the first 2 drawers with their rails to the cabinet box so that we could see how much room we have actually left over. And then once we figure out how much room we have left over, we'll make 2 more smaller drawers for the top. So these first 2 drawers are going to be deeper, and then the last 2 will be a little bit thinner for like silverware and stuff like that. But these deeper ones, we wanted to be able to put like plates and jars and bowls and whatever we need to store in those.
We're moments away.
What happened?
It's the trough.
I messed that one up.
You did that.
Now there's a trough back there, the window trough that has to be notched out, but I didn't know how far to notch it and won't know until we get the side rails in for these. I got the last 3 sets of side rails here, and I got the bottom one done. And so now we're, because this one's on the rail right now, and then the bottom one. And then I gotta figure out how high to, I've got 1/8 inch tolerance measured, like factored in to my measurements. So I'm gonna set this here, and then I wanna measure from the top edge here, because it's sitting on the top edge, to the top edge of this one, and then add 1/8 of an inch, and then subtract 1/2 inch, and then that's the size of the piece of wood that needs to go there, because these are 1/2 inch thick, so that's just the math that has to go on in order to make that happen.
You like it though, right?
Oh my gosh, I love math. Love math.
Math man.
Math man. Math man. So yeah, pretty cool, huh?
I'm gonna leave you to it.
Cool. I might put this one in here just so that I've got something easy to measure off of, because that's, I can pull that up and then measure off the top there.
Sweet.
Bob's your uncle, Sally's your mom, and she's a bear. And Bob's actually your grandfather. Rest in peace, Bob.
Detour project! Right, Brian?
Yeah. Drop this.
Oh no. We got everything moved out of the pantry area. We need to place the wood stove. Why is this thing so blurry? We got to place the wood stove so we can figure out how big the pantry is so that we can do laundry. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. So what we're going to do is we're going to hang a clothesline down the hall off the side of the pantry. So we got to get at least 1 or 2 walls up on the pantry so that we can finally hang dry our laundry. Yeah. Because we're down to the last of the skivvies. Oh my god, look how cute that thing is. How high do you want to float it off the ground?
I want it to look like a genie floating on a carpet.
It'll need to be above the couch line maybe, so then you can admire it.
Yeah.
Is there any way that we could have it on an angle? Towards the living room, you think?
We'll have to look at the back bracket, because that's going to be a monster of its own.
We'll get back to you on that. Cute!
Had no idea this video was turning into a cubic mini installation video. We were going to hang up some laundry, but now we're going to get the fireplace installed.
It makes sense. We don't know how big the dang old pantry's gonna be until we do this, right?
Plot twist. Gotcha.
You guys are probably like, you guys can never just finish one thing. You're so ADD. And we are that. But we also are trying to do things in a smart order so that we don't have to redo things.
And things change on a dime.
Yeah. And this really makes sense because, like, if we put in a pantry wall, like over here, and the pantry should have only been this big, that would be a big pain in the aorta.
So we were thinking about putting this wall in so that we could run the clotheslines going that way. But it's also going to be nice to have a pantry so that we can put away our food and whatnot that we have scattered all around here. So we've been also
make us happy.
We've also been wanting to install this little wood stove because it looks super, super cool.
It's not just because it looks cool, it takes up space.
Yeah. And we're trying to clear off that pallet. We've got like one pallet left now of stuff to install. We're getting so freaking close to driving time.
Yeah, ideally, before we go, we can get all the big components installed along with like our big pieces of wood. Because if you can imagine putting some nice $65 birch plywood on the roof of the Skoolie and then doing like all the nice finishing plywood stuff on the road is just it's ridiculous. So we need to get that birch in this bus.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all.
Let's keep going.
That's probably good. You get it. Assembly time.
Assembly time. All right. So these guys here, there's holes on the back of this one and holes here, and those just kind of match up. And here are the screws. So I'm guessing it doesn't really matter what direction they go. I wonder if that's threaded. I'm not sure if that's threaded or not. That kind of feels like it's threaded, so I probably want to screw it in through this way then.
Can you just say how cute it looks in here? Oh my goodness.
Because these holes here on the back are bigger. And then I'm guessing it goes this way. It doesn't say. And the pictures are lackluster.
Pictures are very small.
Yeah.
If we could give a critique to Cubic Mini, if you make your pictures bigger, then you're
Put it on a
way bigger.
Put it on a bigger sheet of paper.
Way bigger.
Yeah.
We got this though, hey Garcia?
Yeah, we do. We're not gonna let something like this get us down.
No, wait.
Are we there, Miss Vic?
Nuh-uh. So check these out. These are the cute little reflective shades me and my mom made together. They're two-sided. Look at that. Ooh, great. See, these help a ton. There's a little compression fitteroonie and bye-bye. Cute.
What do you think? Do you like the idea of doing it this way?
Which way?
The way we're doing it?
Doesn't bother me.
Alright. We're gonna do some Loctite on this. Just to keep them from vibrating out. And
It's so nice to be able to work on this counter.
I know, right?
We've already done so much stuff.
There we go. There we go. So that's the first part.
Go.
Kill it, kill it. All right, let's see what it says to do next.
This guy just slides right out. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
These legs are so cute. Look at these guys. These are called acorn nuts. Acorn nuts.
They do not come from an oak tree, though.
Isn't it ironic? We always seem to do jobs like this, like we're putting in a wood stove on the hottest day ever. It's kind of a trend for us. Pipe down.
Pipe down. There we go. And then now we'll be able to
Plumb bob.
So I'll do it. Here, I'll just drop this down the center.
So then this will go
There's
3.5 inches.
Yeah. Do you like that or back to the left just a little bit?
The more it can come this way.
So hold this like that. Wherever you feel this, the furring strip stops, like maybe right about there. So this needs to go a few inches that way.
And then the center would be around 3.5. That's kind of tilted.
There's the center. So move this now until you match where my center is so that you're not pushing the thread. Move off the thread for a second. Okay.
That's where the 7 is.
Yeah. Let's go right just a hair, like maybe like an inch or so. Something like that. And then now move it to the new 3.5.
There's 3.5. Do you want me to draw a 7 on there? Pencil?
Yeah. I think I like that spot right there.
Alright, let me draw the 7.
But then and then the center.
Center. So let's go where we go.
I think we might need to set the mini on this because this takes up a little bit more space also.
So it needs to be a bit this way.
Come to me. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't too close to the wall, that it was hitting the wall. So now, where was your original center?
That's the center. That's
Okay.
right there.
That's still close enough for doing the whole.
Cool. Yeah, let me do it on this side too.
Draw the new center right there. Yeah.
Here we go.
So we're just trying to make sure that the center here is, it's got to be 7 inches total, but is not going to interfere with the furring strip that's right here, because these right here are in the middle of the furring strip, so that gives us a little bit of wiggle room right there. And then we'll be able to cut a 7-inch diameter hole right here. Because it's kind of on a little curve, it gives us an inch on either side for wiggle room, along with room for the 5-incher that's going to come through there. So before we mount this to the wall that you don't see right here, we got to cut this, get the chimney up there, get that mounted, and then this will be easier to mount because now we'll have, okay, the chimney has to go right here because it's going straight up and down.
That'll give us the length for like where we need to cut this, because we'll be able to cut a little bit off this top one if we want it higher.
Yep.
That'll give us the length of the top piece. So
This is pretty cool, y'all.
here we go.
You.
Now what we expected for today.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking that we're gonna install a wood burning stove today.
Today's the day.
Yeah. All right.
35 degrees.
35 Celsius. Whew. 90 degrees Fahrenheit, plus or minus.
Yep.
Here we go.
There's the X. So only 3 boards need to come out. Cool. I'll pop them out.
I wonder if, before you pop them out, if we drill a hole straight
Pilot.
through all of that.
Yep.
So that we know where it's coming out on the outside.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll find a drill bit now. There it is. Oh, it's just wedge drill nicely. Nice.
There's a skylight side. Pretty good.
Not bad.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
It's got a little dust. Just beating up some more of our hard work here.
Beat it up.
The last time you did this cutting of the wool, it was way more traumatic than this moment.
It was frantic.
It's frantic.
Yeah.
This is not going to be so frantic. This is exciting. So we're just going to cut a little X here so that we can put the chimney pipe up there, and then we'll put in a few furring strips around the outside edge of the circle to help support our ceiling. And,
do we need an X?
oh, maybe not an X.
We
Just pull it open.
We might. I don't know. Like, that's plenty now, probably.
Yeah, just do that.
So we got to re-find our center.
We'll put the ceiling pieces up,
Yeah.
and then we can find the center, and then if we have to take them down, we'll just take them down.
That sounds good.
Alright. Might not need to put the side ones on.
Maybe
Just put the top and the bottom.
maybe just this one and measure 3.5 inches up from it.
Boom.
And there's our center.
Boom. Now we're going to drill a little pilot hole on center. Garcia's got his pro on.
Always wear your pro, kids.
There it is.
There it is.
Daylight come and me wanna go home.
Another hole.
I'm just going to tape this insulation back so that it doesn't get a bunch of metal shards in it, or so that the saw doesn't get caught up in the wool. Brian's up there drawing the circle on the roof. And there's my beautiful tape job. Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna drill a hole.
Okay.
It's just gonna be right next to the other hole. There we go. Now we got room to get a jigsaw blade in there and cut this out. All right, you ready?
Way to go, Garcia.
Another hole in the roof because we don't have enough already.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This might be the end of it.
This might be the end of all the big holes, yeah. Well, that's a nice opening there. Using the jigsaw worked pretty nice. I had the bimetal blade on there. It was a little squirrely at times, but I found that at times if I studied the metal with my hand, then it would reduce the vibration, and then it allowed me to cut smoother. So we're cut resistant gloves for sure if doing that. If you don't want to accidentally slice your finger off just because you're holding a piece of metal to steady it. Oh, that's perfect. That's just perfect.
All right, so this guy right here needs to hang down from the ceiling 2 inches. So we're gonna put a little tape mark on it.
So I'm gonna do it on the back side because this is gonna face the wall.
Okay. If it leaves any residue.
If it leaves any residue, you heard it first here, folks.
What do we got? 2 inch-ish?
2 1/8. That's
All right.
fine. All right, so we're doing the through the roof mounting system right now. It comes with these little brackets. So these brackets will go on either side of the pipe. I've got Aaron on the inside helping hold it up. And we're gonna space it evenly and then get it all screwed together. Right about there?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Alright, I'm gonna draw a little hole where I need to drill pilot holes here. Alright, you can pull it down for a second while I drill this pilot hole. So this one here is going to be directly on the opposite side. And so what I want you to do is find the 2 inch mark on the roof and then hold it against the bracket that I just installed.
Okay. There you go. I'm working on vertical right now.
Perfect. Awesome. Right there looks pretty good. Let me put my dots with my pen for the pre-drill. All right, pull it back. I'm gonna pre-drill real quick. And now we're going to do the bracket screws. These are the same roofing screws that we used on the skylights here with the rubber washers. All right, so if you want to put that back through, we're gonna screw it on with the self-tappers.
Ooh, that's gonna be great. Okay, that looks pretty straight up and down.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna see if the self-tapper will just do it or if I need to drill a pilot hole. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna screw it in. Yeah, hold it right there. There we go. I didn't tighten it all the way.
Okay.
All right. Does that look pretty level to you?
Yeah. Well, like more like that.
Okay. All right, here we go. There we go.
It's a boot time. We cut the boot. What do you say? Okay. Check it. Look at it.
So we've got a 5-inch chimney that's going through, and so we need to cut right here where it says 4 3/4 to 5 1/4 on that line.
There you go.
How's that with the knife? Or do you think scissors? Your knife's pretty sharp.
Because I'm a badass. I'm gonna go slow because I don't want it to like slip and do something dumb.
That's a really good idea.
There's probably a bit of wiggle room considering they're like, lube it up if you need to.
Pretty?
Pretty.
So that piece is going to stay on the roof, and we need to screw it down.
All right.
So now that the chimney pipe is coming through the roof here, we've got the boot to slide over. Aaron did a great job cutting it. And then we're also going to silicone it to the roof with high temp caulking and screw it to the roof and cover the screws with silicone. Alright, so I just put this boot here on the top because we're not going to put the actual chimney up right now. Now that this part is done, we need to build the pantry down below so that we have something to mount the Cubic Mini to. So let's go build the pantry now.
Stuff's high temp, so it can handle the heat of the chimney.
You're high temp.
Just like a broth.
Got that wool pulled all back around. So now we're sealed up, so if it does rain,
we go.